All right, so this problem is a portion web problem for the 7th graders, course 2. This one is a portion web. They want you to get what 270% is as a fraction and as a decimal. My first thing I do is I always check and say, is this larger than one whole? It is. 100% is one whole, so that's larger. It's almost 3 wholes. So I know my fraction is going to be larger than 1 and my decimal is going to be larger than 1. They already kind of gave it to you as a fraction. They already kind of told you that it's 2 and 7/10. I can also write that as a decimal if I know how to read and write decimals properly. Instead of, I don't say 2.7, I would say 2 and 7/10. So another way to do it would be to have just used kind of the trick that I use for turning a percent into a decimal. If I take 270%, I say, well, here's where the decimal would be. That's still 270%. I'm going to move the decimal place 2 places to the left. And that's what my decimal is, 2.700, right? And I don't need the extra zeros. So that's my decimal. And how I would use the percentage to write my fraction if they didn't give it to us in words would be to say that any percentage is always out of 100. All percents are out of 100. Then I could do some simplifying and say, well, I can just divide out a factor of 10. They both end in 0. So I can just divide by a factor of 10 and say that's the same thing as 27/10. And that's the same thing as 2 and 7/10. And there you have it.